Thank you, Alex. Good morning. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. In April 1899, President Roosevelt said this in a speech that he was giving. Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. This is one of my favorite quotes from one of our more interesting presidents. It's one sentence, 43 words, and it lays out a singular philosophy of life. Most of us, I imagine, live in the gray twilight. In fact, what is often passed as the American dream since the 1950s is the easy living of the gray twilight. But it is not the American dream, or at least it's not the dream that is America. When we were young, most of us didn't really dream of living in a comfortable middle. Most of us probably dreamt of doing something great. But the gray twilight is very quiet, sneaks up on you slowly, softly. One day you wake up and you find yourself in the middle. Middle West, middle class, middle life. To extend that more broadly, we as a nation and as a society are really in middle age. We have lost our way and collectively become those poor, timid spirits President Roosevelt was talking about. In fact, it's probably worse now, 113 years after we first said it, than it was then. It's worse because of our overconsumption, over-corporatization, and overvaluing an illusion of security. We exist in a world of huge government, huge corporations, where the individual is diminished, marginalized. We have an educational system that's really focused on cranking out new workers for our corporate overlords, and then creating truly educated citizens. In the economic situation, particularly over the last few years, that was caused an extended financial downturn, and the crime of the century were banks and large corporations that were too big to fail, causing the problems, that actually benefited from those problems, and causing a great shift of wealth and opportunity from the middle class to the upper class. Risk and reward are completely out of balance, and the ruling class are happy to be capitalists on the way up, socialists on the way back down. All these factors come together to have the majority of us living with a strange mix of comfort and fear and apathy. That is the gray twilight. So looking forward into the new year, I think we all have a choice, a very simple choice. We can dare mighty things, or we can be comfortable living in the gray twilight. I would propose that living and working in the gray twilight is not a great way to spend one's life. Life is far too short for that. As we go forward, we should ask ourselves, how do you want to use your life? Do you want to dare mighty things, to try and fail, and fail and fail, and try again and again and again? Or do you want to live in the gray twilight? Ask yourself, what are those things that are important to you? What are those things that you feel that you cannot not do? Take a while to think about that one. Let these things guide you into the new year. Not the constant messages of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that bombard us every day in the media, talking about the economy, the job situation, and what you can't do. Started with a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, and I'm going to finish with a quote from Warren Buffett. Here, in this quote, he's talking specifically about one's job, but I think it can be applied to all areas of life and give us a great perspective on how we spend our time. Warren Buffett said, "There comes a time when you ought to start doing what you want. Take a job that you love, you will jump out of bed in the morning. I think you are out of your mind if you keep taking jobs that you don't like because they will look good on your resume." Isn't that a little like saving up sex for your old age?